Hey everyone. Let's see who's going to tune in. We'll just wait and get started here in a second. I'm going to, like I always do, post this to my personal page through my Facebook. Hey Laurie. So yeah, just bear with me for a minute. You can take in a couple of the pieces before we get too far here. Hey Chris, it's good to see you. I think you've joined every one of these. Hey John. All right. So we'll just wait for a few more people to join. I think we're still a few minutes early. So I am just gonna quickly share this to my personal page on Facebook. And then we'll get started. So tonight's kind of weird because I'm gonna be doing a live, like in-person event right after this. We'll talk about that, but it's definitely freaking me out a little bit. Hi, Rick. All right, it's 6:30. So let me put this up and we'll get started. Hey there, hi everyone, thanks for joining. This is James Frederick. I'm coming to you from Frederick Studio, Provincetown, and it's my third live stream of the 2021 season. And it's the first one, hey Jack, it's the first one that I'm doing as kind of a hybrid event. So I'm coming to you a little earlier than usual. I'm coming to you at 6:30 to give you a quick, maybe 20-25 minute preview of these pieces that are included within the garden. And then I'm gonna clean up everything. There's not a whole lot going on here, but I have a lot of tape marked on the floor. I'll pick all that up, open the door and let people in, which will be the first time that I've done that since 2019. So I'm a little freaked out. I've always been kind of managing how many people come in, but we don't really have any capacity restrictions at this point. So I am gonna let as much people in as I feel comfortable with. I'm really just kind of testing the water with this live in-person stuff. But this feed that I've been doing all last year and this year on Facebook has been so great that I will not step away from it. So I'm going to continue to do these, and the jury's still out on whether or not I continue to do the in-person ones after tonight. So anyway, these pieces that I want to share with you tonight are florals, and I've done florals for a few different years now. The first time I did florals since having this studio is in 2018, and they were part of a show of Small Works that year. And I loved the way that my painting and illustrative styles came together. So I was able to use my paintings techniques kind of on the background and swaths of color, and then add some line work, which really pays homage to my illustrative skills and actually speaks to a lot of the other types of things that I do here in the studio. So these are kind of iterative pieces. So I do a little sketch on a conditioned canvas, and then after I get that sketched out, I'll paint kind of the background, and then I'll go through another stage where I paint really the object or the flower, and then that dries for a bit and cures, and then I go back in with a line work with acrylic marker, which is kind of a new product that's been around, I guess, for a few years now that I've been using, but I really like that because you can really control that line. So those, that's the way that I kind of produce this work. I have 12 new pieces to share with you, so I'm excited. So yeah, I've been doing these flowers then for, I guess, 4 years now. 1 year I did a lot of dragonflies. Last year the show was called The Birds and the Bees and the Flowers and the Trees, so I had some birds and trees in there, but this year we're really just all flowers and bugs. So I have all of the pieces up on my website, and you can go directly to it based from the link in the description of this video, and click right in to get any more information and even buy a piece if you'd like. So the only thing I will say is that you probably will see the images, you'll see them better today than you will on the website. I had a really challenging time photographing them because of the darker backgrounds. So that's enough. I'm going to take you through the work, just like I usually do. I'm going to roll this tripod around the studio, and I have the floor marked, so hopefully this will be a quick and easy process. But I want to talk about these two little pieces first. So these are both 8 by 10. Let me adjust this a little bit for the rest of the show. And please type in any questions or comments. I'll continue to watch that screen. Sorry for the jiggling. So the upper piece is 8 by 10, and it's called Butterflies Are Free. So I had a lot of fun with the names on these pieces. I thought about movies and song lyrics, and so you'll catch some humor in some of the titles of these pieces. But this one's called Butterflies Are Free, and it's a monarch butterfly, obviously, and on my interpretation of a milkweed blossom, and again, it's 8 by 10. And I'll come a little closer to it after I introduce you to this lower piece, which is called My Fair Lady. And it is a little ladybug, and you'll remember I did one last year, and I love these ladybugs, so I may do a whole show of ladybugs. We'll see. So I'm going to take the camera in a little closer because I feel like you want to be able to appreciate these pieces a little bit better. So this is the Butterflies Are Free, and you can see that variation of that rich textured background and the way that the color is laid in, and then the line work is added. And this piece is the ladybug, and you can see the background on that one is also very textured. So yeah, then I'm gonna put you back on the camera or on the tripod, and we'll just move on down the road here. So this piece is called, it's larger, so it's 24 by 24, and it's called Tiptoe Please. With a reference to a song, obviously, but it's a field of tulips, and I wanted to make sure that I added a couple little accented tulips that were a different color. I think it kind of adds a little bit of pop, and the texture on this one in the background is really cool. I love that, these deep greens that I came up with, and how the light is hitting the flower heads. So, yep. Tiptoe Please. So 24 by 24. Oh, thank you, Laurie. Oh, and Chris, thanks for your comments. And let's show you the next few pieces. So these two are 12 by 12, and I decided to do some cosmos, which is the upper one. And, oh, thanks, Dennis. The cosmos are very special to me because when I was a kid, I Where am I? Here I am. When I was a kid, I used to sell seeds door to door, and I sold them for American Seed Company, I think it was. And I sold Cosmos to my mother, and she basically let them go to seed every year and collected the seeds. And for years and years, for decades, she was still growing the same Cosmos that I had sold her when I was a kid, which I think is really cool. So I love Cosmos. This piece is some pink Cosmos, and it's called Totally Cosmic, and it's 12 by 12. And the lower piece that you see under it is called Peony for Your Thoughts, and it is obviously some pink peonies. So I'm gonna bring you in a little closer so you can see the Cosmos and all the little buds. I love the way that's very airy, and that the leaves of the Cosmos is kind of like a fern. And then this is the peonies. So these peonies are growing on the street that I walk to my studio on Gosnold Street, just over a little white picket fence. And I took several pictures of those over the course of their budding and blooming, and then starting to transpire a bit. So those are the peonies. And I'm gonna pull this back quite a bit so you can see like 4 pieces at once. Although I'm missing my marks here on the floor. So hopefully this is close to where I should be. Oh yeah, looks good. So there's 4 more pieces here, and I'll just tell you about them, and then I'll come in for some close-ups after we get through it. So this piece is called Daffodilly, and if you're familiar with the poem by A.A. Milne, about the daffodil telling winter that winter is dead. This is a gorgeous, I love the way this one came out. I love the way the light is hitting this one. And I actually love the vibrant background as well. So this one is 12 by 16, and it's already purchased, so it's not available anymore, unfortunately. And then the upper one is called Please Don't Eat the Daisies, and it's 16 by 16, and it's really just a field of daisies. That one has a lot of really rich texture in kind of the background area, so I'll take you in close to see that. And then the lower one is called You Should Have Seen the Other Flower, which I'm probably the only person who's cracking my own self up with this, but so it's basically Black-Eyed Susan's 16 by 16. That one has also been already acquired. And let's see, the next piece that you can see in this far end is tulips, and it's really kind of a companion piece for the daffodils, and I've called it Ready for the Organ. And if you're familiar with an old expression about tulips and an organ, you'll get that one. So it's also been collected. Now I'm going to take you in just for some close-ups, because I'd like to see the detail, especially on these tulips. I love the color that gradates on the petal. Now, you know, I've done my trademark orange in my blue field, which you'll see in a lot of my works. And then I'll show you a little closer the texture of the daisies and the background, how it lightens up. And there's a fun live, a fun reel on Instagram of me painting a lot of the petals of those daisies, which you can check out. And then this one is the Black-Eyed Susans, and I'm having a hard time with this handheld as usual, and you can see the texture on that one. And then back to the daffodils. So yeah, I love this little detail inside of the hood there, or the head. And back to the tripod. So I hope you're not hearing this toilet flushing upstairs. It's something that never happened. Hey, Lori. It's something that never happened before while the cinema upstairs was closed. But because they're open now for business, it's something that was never a factor before, but you can hear toilets flushing in my studio. And I'll be really curious to see if you can hear them on this live feed, because the sound may pick it up. Okay. I'm not sure what I'm doing, but I think I'm going to these marks right here. Yep. So you can see the top piece is called Evening Flower, and you've seen that. This is actually a piece, the only flower left from last year's The Birds and the Bees and the Flowers and the Trees. And I'm not sure why. Facebook is prompting something very strange on the screen, so I'm going to just try to ignore it and hope it's not affecting either the video or the image. So below that piece is this one down here, and I've called it Hips Don't Lie. And it's basically the beach rose or Rosa rugosa, and it has some of the small little rose hips that it creates as little seed pods. So, take you in to see that, maybe. There we go. Yeah, so I love the way that I added these little hips in there. And this one has a great, rich background, but again, it was so hard to photograph because of the kind of satin sheen of the paint finish, and the way the light hits it. It's really difficult to get a good shot. But I only have 2 more to share with you, so it won't be too much longer. And let me move this camera here. So these are the last 2. This is called Like a Prayer. It's 8 by 10, and it's this fun praying mantis. These last 2 have a little more fantasy involved with them. The lower one is called Rose Tent My World, and it's really more of a traditional rose. I based this on some knockout roses that a neighbor of mine has. But here is our praying mantis, 8 by 10. And then here is the kind of fantasy roses. I love how this piece, the line work, starts to make it feel a bit like stained glass, which I think is cool. So that one is called Rose Tint My World. So that is all of the new pieces. Hey, Elizabeth. I'm gonna move the camera here and just use this other newer piece that I did, this large landscape. This is actually the tidal marsh here in Provincetown that I painted on a large, very large piece. Hey, Natalie. And it is 5 foot by 4 foot, so it's giant. But it's really not part of the garden, although you could probably put some things out there. So anyway, I just wanted to reconnect, see if there was any questions or anything I didn't answer. I don't see anything. So thank you everyone for joining me. If you don't have any questions that I see pop up right now, then I will just let you know that I The next live stream will be at 6:30 p.m. on Friday, July 16th. Thank you, Jack. And it's going to be like this one, a short preview of works that I hopefully will be bringing people in to see at 7 that evening. So July 16th, that happens to also be my birthday. So join me for my birthday. Thanks, Chris. And for pieces that I'm including in a body of work called A Quiet Roar. And it's really an extension of that vivid tranquility work that I've been doing for a number of years. So it is very kind of referential abstracts that really just pulls the light and the color of Cape Cod. I've created this work because I feel like, thank you, Natalie. I pulled these pieces together because it feels like they're bold but calm, and that's where the name Vivid Tranquility and now A Quiet Roar comes, because there's that juxtaposition of speaking boldly but in a calm and comforting way. So those pieces will be July 16th. So that's it. Again, everything's on the website, at the link, in the description. So good to reconnect, and I'm gonna now get ready for people to come in to this studio. Bye, everyone.